Good morning. I got a big job here. Today I'm taking care of some paint correction. Actually, it's bird contaminants on a black Mercedes, which black is one of the toughest colors to try to keep looking new. So anyway, I already hand washed the car, dried it. It's very humid outside, so it's not really drying well, but that makes it easier for me because I don't have to worry about rushing. And here it is. We've got a fine looking specimen of black Mercedes. If you can see the bird contaminant, if I can get it in the frame of the picture, there's some right there. There you go. And right here. I'm going to try a clay bar first. This looks like some contaminants on the paint, or it might be a scratch. But that's where I'm going to start, and we'll see what we come up with. Since I already hand washed it, first thing I'm going to start out with is the clay bar and see what that does. Alright, here's the implements I got. There's the clay bar kit. I'm going to start with that. As you can see, I have a Meguiar's compound. That's a heavier cut. I also do use the fine cut and a polish to follow, but that will be later. And if needed, I found 5,000 grit wet dry sandpaper. If I have to, I will use it. I'd rather not. I've seen others use 3 or 3,500 for implements like this, such as bird contamination. I saw a fail video. I don't want to be part of that. And this is my first time going after a bird scat contaminant. Alright, here we go. Here's your clay bar. If you're watching this, as you know, a lot of lubrication. Here's the detailer spray. Completely wet, and we'll see what this does. Lightly, not too hard. Some pressure, very minimal. I always try to use the hashtag method, and we'll see what kind of contaminants we're getting off of this car. The previous clay bar that I used was Meguiar's. This one is a lot more tacky than I'm accustomed to. Don't know if that's better or not. We'll see. This instant detailer by Mothers is very high in lubrication. Not what I'm used to. Still used to the Meguiar's product. It's different. Well, it's looking the same. Maybe a little less noticeable contaminants, but it's obviously still there. All right, next is the compound. We'll see what that does. Here is our imperfection. I'll use that right there. You can see it. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. Basically letting the stuff do the work. And I see something that I talked about earlier. Bye-bye. Pull those tags off. It does appear to be shrinking. A little bit more work. I might have this, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's just an illusion. The wax felt like it was drying out, or the compound, so I didn't want to cause that to do any marring on the paint. Again, the pressure is light. I'm not trying to dig in. Well, there it is. What I fear. 5,000 grit. I know others have done it at 3,500 and 3,000. So a lot more fine, sort of my security blanket. But this is my first time trying, and it's still there. It's into the clear coat. It's not that bad. I've seen a lot worse, so hopefully this will survive. Now I cut a piece off just to eliminate more surface and to save the rest. So this is the size that I'm going to use. It should be plenty for my 2 fingers to gently rub. I'm going to get it wet. Decision I'm trying to make. Do I want to use the detailer spray to get it wet, or just plain water? I'm going to try the detailer spray. It has lubrication. Hopefully it doesn't eliminate the properties in the sandpaper effectiveness. This is like a spongy. Now, where is our contaminant? Where is it? Right there. I feel no abrasive at all. Very little pressure. Now I will say, if I went with a higher grit, this process may have gone a lot faster. I'm not about speed. The detailer spray in conjunction with this seems to be doing very well. I pinched it. Well, I'm starting to doubt the 5,000 grit. Well, I'm sure it's effective, but I do believe I might be here for a long time doing exactly what I'm doing to get down to the contamination. If I were thinking ahead, I would have bought both, which wouldn't have to make me go out to the store to get the other. But they did not have 3,500 grit, only 3,000. One thing I'm noticing about this fine grit is I'm not getting the white residue from removing the clear coat, which obviously tells me it's not taking nearly as much off as quickly. That I kind of like. It is shrinking. I wonder when it comes a point to leave well enough alone and just deal with a little bit left over. That's not good enough. I like it perfect. All right. It's not completely out, but I want to see if I can take care of the marring from All right, let's see the damage. Look at that. Look. Oh boy, I'm excited now. It worked. It worked real well. Okay, total time, including manipulating the video, about 15 minutes. On a spot about the size of my index finger thumbnail. My index finger nail. That's my thumb. All right, let me get a look at it from the other side. It's still there. However, what I like the fact that the marring that was caused by the sandpaper is gone. So I am comfortable with attempting other parts of the car and using a higher grit sandpaper. Far to be done. I'm going to do this entire car, find every piece of contamination, and try to eliminate it in the same process. I will follow up when it's all done. Alright, well, I clay barred the car. You saw what I've done to the edging from the bird scat. And now I got my cheap Walmart orbital buffer, which some of you may cringe by, but I'm going to use it. I will invest one day, not to worry, but it is doing what I'm needed to do right now, at least I hope it does. Here is the outcome of just clay bar. There's still many imperfections that you probably cannot see in the camera. There is some paint damage that I'm not going to be concerned with just because I'm not painting, but I'm trying to get what's good. Somewhere around there is that bird edging, and we'll see what I can do with the high compound. All right, I got an update. I just did compound on one side after, I did the contamination removal, which wasn't, well, it was successful, but I need more work. And the clay bar, which of course is something that needs to be done. But there is, indoors, or probably tell, everything's washed with the clouds in the sky. But the left side is completely a lot more exuberant and shiny. And that's the way it is, believe me.